Hey everyone, I just wanted to say before I get into the video, I'm almost at 1,000 subscribers and you guys just have my appreciation. I really couldn't ask for a better community and a better audience to have than you all. You guys have been nothing but supportive and appreciative, and I really appreciate that myself. So thank you guys. I really appreciate it and it means a lot to me. Without further ado, let's get right into the video. Hey everyone, and welcome back to another Helium Hub video. In this video, I am very excited to share with you a conversation I had with a very huge innovator in the helium space, and that is with my friend Renee. He's been working on a few projects recently, one of which is an amplifier for your helium antenna, and the other is a website that actually bridges the gap between consumers and developers. I think that having a website that bridges the gap between consumers and developers is a huge innovation for the helium space, and here's why. Helium needs companies like Dish and most recently Xtelia to utilize the network because, to put it frankly, without utilization of the network, helium's dead in the water. That's why I think it's a great idea to start a website that helps create a roadmap for people for their innovation and ideas, because ultimately that's what the network needs right now. Bottom line is, we need more products and we need more services that actually utilize the Helium network. And if there's one community that I think can innovate the space, it is the Helium community, bar none. This is one of the best communities that I have been a part. So if anyone can do it, if any community can innovate the space and really push forward the Helium network, it's us. It is the people building the network, the community. Just recently, we had someone utilize the network by tracking their asset 200 kilometers in Portugal, monitoring distance traveled and stops along the way. This is just one of the use case scenarios that the Helium network could be utilized in, and there are many, many more. So let me know down in the comments below other ways that you believe and other products that you think can innovate the space and utilize the Helium network. Because ultimately, like I said, helium needs innovation and helium needs utilization. So without further ado, let's get right into my conversation with Renee about this exact same topic. Awesome. Hey, Renee, we just had a great conversation about helium and improving the network and what kind of needs to happen, kind of the roadmap to improve helium. So, first off, tell the viewers a little bit about yourself and how you got started with helium.
Awesome. Thanks, Spencer. Thanks for the introduction. I'm fairly young, I'd say less than a year, about 10 months or so into the network. Deployed several hotspots, been running a lot of like towers, and trying to optimize my locations.
How many hotspots is a lot, just for the viewers? Because some think five
Uh,
is a lot. I know you have
well,
a good bit.
yeah, I'd say close to 18 to 20
Okay.
at a given time.
So
Some of
big
them could
dog,
be,
big dog.
yeah, a lot of work. Let's
Yeah,
say
it
that.
is. Yeah, just for my 10. So I don't know how you're doing it with 18. So let's get into our first topic, and that is, where are we right now in the helium life cycle, and what needs to happen to kind of push it towards the next step, the next evolution of helium, and push the helium network in a good direction. What needs to happen?
More user cases,
Innovation.
right? Yeah. The point of POC, right? Proof of coverage is to utilize a coverage for people to use the network. And if we're not innovating new devices, hardware that can wrap onto the network, then it's really just us with hotspots in locations.
Right, because I think the sentiment right now is, hey, I'm going to get a hotspot and I'm going to make a lot of money just by placing it in a window, and that's what helium is. It's just creating a network and I get paid. But I think the big point to that is, in a little bit, there's going to need to be some use case behind that in order for the helium network to be viable. And in order for anyone to use the helium network, there needs to be innovation and items and things that need to happen in order to push that. So, what are you doing right now to bridge the gap? What do you want to do? How can we bridge that gap between developers and consumers? So, let's say I have an idea of a sensor for a pool, a caloric sensor. So if the chlorine level goes above or below a certain point, the sensor will beam it to me, let me know that, hey, you need to add chlorine or take out chlorine or do whatever you need. What needs to happen so ideas like that can come to fruition?
So there's definitely a gap, right? There's definitely a well, let's understand what we do.
Hmm.
Like we basically invest money into providing a coverage where we hope to get our returns rewarded
Hmm.
by doing so. So, in a mindset of an entrepreneur, which I feel like most of us are, we need to innovate devices that's going to be able to utilize the network.
Hmm.
Most of us are thinking outside the box other than just providing coverage. We look at optimization, figuring out gains, figuring out losses on antennas, and what's the next big thing that's about to roll around the corner to get that next edge. But
Hmm.
in all actuality, I feel that right now, at this moment in time, 2022, Q1, we need to be more open-minded in a sense of user cases.
Hmm.
And that is where the gap from I have an idea to, okay, great, I'm a developer. Great, well, I would love to take your idea on. Good, now there's a marriage
Right.
and the project comes into fruition.
And right now,
So,
there's not a whole lot of places like that. I
no,
know you and I are big proponents of the Helium Discord channel. Which, guys, if you're watching this and you are not on the Helium Discord channel, what are you doing? That is the place to be for innovation, ideas. That's how me and Renee met. So just great community. Everyone there is super helpful. If you guys have any questions or any problems, I hang out there a lot. Come visit me. Name is Helium Hub in the Discord. And yeah, we can have a great conversation. But if you guys want to know more about helium, the only and best place really to be is on the Discord. So I will link it down in the video description. But I think, like you said, there needs to be more things like that, like a website or something that bridges the gap between, hey, I have an idea, and companies that can actually make that come to fruition. Because, let's say I have all these ideas, but I'm not in that space. I'm a realtor, so I don't know the roadmap or what I need to do to get to that point. But they might be really good ideas, and there are a ton of use case scenarios. We just covered a couple in our last conversation. We talked about performance tracking for horses or animals, caloric levels for pools, little sensors, air quality sensors. I just talked to a person in the Discord that created a prototype that uses the Helium network um, to monitor air levels. And how cool is that? And how many use cases scenarios does that fulfill? In carpentry, in honestly so many different spaces, healthcare. That one air quality sensor could be utilized, and I think that that's a great point. That to get to the next step, we need to actually utilize the network, right?
yeah. Yeah, and going back to it, the platform that we're trying to create is going to fill that bridge. It's in development now, but it's really a temperature test. I'm willing to invest my free time to build out a platform where if you do have an idea, you're able to share that idea and communicate with a developer on the Helium network that's going to say, hey, this can or cannot be done.
Right.
This is the cost, and this is what needs to happen, and this is the roadmap, and this is
Hmm.
what hardware we need to purchase, and just have that discussion.
Right. Yeah. Because, like I said, people like me, I don't know what to do, but I might have a
Yeah.
couple. I might have a couple great ideas. So, I know that you're planning on making a website for that, and I think that's great because I think that's the next step that's needed. We need to get use case scenarios. We need to get people talking about use case scenarios. We need to get people having open discussions about the best way to do this, the best way to do that, the best way to utilize the network. And I think you, by creating a website, that's great. I know you have a couple other things going on. What else have you been getting your feet wet in?
Yeah, we created I'd say that a lot of it's still up for discussion. I'd say because a lot of people might frown upon it, but I think that we are we are creating an amplifier. We have so it's a prototype. We're going to be launching it here in February. It's called the LoRa RX1, and it basically allows your signal strength, whether that be in a dense area or rural, to just be increased. And that's the simplicity of the project.
Right.
We've got a lot of interest, and we're excited to kind of share that with the community.
Right, that's a hot button topic I know right now is amplifiers. How can I get one? All that
Yeah.
good stuff, and will it boost my rewards? And once again, that kind of goes back to the sentiment of people just wanting to earn rewards and not innovate the space. And guys, I just want to say thank you to all the people that are taking their time and effort into building this Helium network. I know that there are people such as BFG Neil. I know that Anthony, I haven't spoken to him, but I know that he is writing hit
Andy,
proposal.
yeah,
Sorry, and who?
Every- Andy,
Andy. Yep,
it's
Andy.
yeah, Neil's
And what
friend, yeah.
they're doing, guys, is they're pretty much crowd problem solving the Helium network. So if there's a problem that they think they can fix or a better way to do something, they write a HIP, which is a Helium improvement proposal. It's in the Discord, and people can vote on that HIP on whether it would be good for the community or bad for the community. And right now, there are people like those guys, like BFG Neil, like Anthony, like that other guy that you mentioned, that are taking time out of their day that they're not getting paid for to write these improvement proposals. So I just want to say, and I think this goes for everyone in the Helium community, thank you guys so much for doing that. We really appreciate it. And that is eventually how we are going to grow as a network, by improving the network, by getting use case scenarios and things like that. Because, like I said, the sentiment right now is putting up an antenna, earning money, not putting up an antenna and giving coverage to a company that could really utilize it. And this is not for just big mom, or this is not for big companies as well. I know that there was some small companies, some small mom and pop companies using it to monitor crops and things like that. And so it doesn't necessarily have to be a big corporational level or a big company level. It can be something as simple as I have an idea, made this idea into fruition, and now I can use that Helium network however I want to. I'll throw up a picture right here, and it is showing that people nowadays are using the Helium network for tracking driving and truck driving. Um, I forgot what kind of article was about, but I'll put it right there. And it pretty much monitored the truck's speed, how long it took to get there, and the pit stops it made along the way. I mean, just that as one idea is huge, and the use case scenarios for that is huge. That could be placed on cars, could be placed on Ubers, phones. So there are a ton of ideas that are out there that I think people have that just can't get their voices heard, or maybe don't know what to do. So I think what you're doing, bringing and bridging the gap between consumers and developers, I think that's the next step that needs to happen. Innovation is the next step that needs to happen. Use case scenarios are the next step that needs to happen. Like I said, guys, if you guys are interested in any of that, just get in the Discord channel. What are you doing if you're not in the Discord channel? That is where it's happening. And that's where I'm at. So come and chat with me. So, Renee, I want to end it with this question. And I think we already answered it. And it's, what are you most excited about for the Helium Network?
Just the innovation, right?
Right.
The simplicity of scanning something and letting it do its work, and seeing that data, and either it be connected to an app or something that's going to benefit me, and from it's just the innovation portion.
Right.
And we don't know what it is. It's going to be created in somebody's garage, like what
Right.
we
Yeah.
referenced that other
Yeah.
interview,
Yeah. We
right?
did
I
just
mean,
we did just watch a video where it said it was a funny line. It said the helium innovation and inventions that are going to come of this are going to come from a guy in a garage with $50 and a laptop, and that's exactly what's happening. That's exactly
yeah,
the
yeah.
discussions that are happening. Is I just talked to that one guy on Discord. I forget his name. I will put it up here if I remember it. But he made an air quality sensor, and that is just excellent. And that is just the starting point of something uh, much bigger. That is the tip of the iceberg, to put it in a way. So yeah, and I think, at least for me, the most exciting thing that I'm looking for is 5 years down the road, looking at a device that uses the Helium network and saying, I was an innovator during that time. I
Yeah.
helped build that network. I, somehow did my part for the community to push and grow this network and this community. And I think that would just be the coolest thing to say. Just take a look back at the internet. You know, the internet had a lot of doubters and a lot of haters on it, just like Helium does today. And how cool would it have been to say, I wrote the first code for internet. I helped, do JavaScript. I helped do this, and now the whole structure is based off of something that you did. I think for me, that is the coolest thing, and that's how I'm going to get my kicks when it's in 5 years, hopefully expanded and the network, and then it's getting utilized. And that is the thing that I'm most looking forward to, is to looking at all the device and all the innovation and to say that I had a part in that, and that I was there for it. I think that is the coolest thing that any of us can get. So, Renee, finishing up here, do you have anything you would like to add?
Just appreciate people like you, right? I mean, just providing more content for us to consume. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you as well, man, because I know that we haven't talked about it on this video, but you're doing a couple things in your space under the table, and you're getting stuff done, and you're innovating and bringing out the best in the community as well. So I want to thank you for that. I also want to thank all the viewers for watching these things, because you guys are going to help grow the network. You guys are liking the video, sharing the video, getting this video out there to people that, just the more people that need to see it, and the more eyes, the better. So I think that we both are doing things that are good for the community, and I think there's a lot of other people in the Discord that I didn't mention today that could get a lot of praise that I didn't. So if I didn't talk or speak your name, and you have done something for the Helium community, I really appreciate it, and I think everyone in the community appreciates you too. So Renee, as always, man, it's been a pleasure talking to you, and I appreciate you coming on and speaking to the Helium community. This is not the last you guys have seen from Renee, I don't think.
Well, yeah, nope, sure won't. I would be happy if somebody, well, let us know your comments below, how excited
Yeah.
you are about potentially having a user-friendly platform where your ideas can potentially be created by Helium Network.
Right. Yep. Guys, like he said, any questions, comments, if you guys have a great idea that you think the Helium Network could utilize, put them down in the description. I will also link Renee's YouTube channel down in the description as well. He has a great YouTube channel that goes over a lot of things, and it's very informative. So make sure to check that out. Renee, it's been such a pleasure talking to you, and hopefully we can have more of these discussions, because that's what's going to push the network, man.
Sounds good, man. Thanks,
Awesome.
Spencer. Thanks,
Appreciate
everyone.
it. Yep. Take care.